Alright, so we're back, and today we're going to, today's Wednesday, or no, today's Thursday. Thursday? Yes, it is Thursday. Thursday the 13th. Yesterday was Wednesday. We took a look at this guy. Hopefully you get to see this video today. I'm running really short on time before work. Work ran really late last night, so I'd been up for just a little bit. I had to put all the combiners back into Gestalt mode so that I can show that off in this review. So hopefully, needless to say, I should have enough time to record this. Hopefully, download it on the computer and then upload it onto YouTube. So hopefully, you guys see this today. If not, Friday. Anyway, so we've already covered him, so now we're going to cover his combine mode. So you want to start taking all this crap off of it. Get that all off to the side. Come on. Yeah, it's weird. Sometimes this thing releases really easily, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know if there's like a button I'm missing to release it, like the Make Toys Giant. But sometimes it slides right in there and pops on real easy. Sometimes it doesn't. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with it. It confuses me. And this is one thing I absolutely hate about this figure is that, you really have to put a lot of pressure on these connectors sometimes. And, I've tried to fiddle with it so many times that I don't think I'm doing anything wrong, but I'm always afraid of breaking off these shoulder connector bits because I'm over here like just pulling on it. So let's start with this stuff here. So what you want to do with this piece is open it back up, and you just kind of pull that out and flip this up. Flip this up like so, and then you just collapse it back together. And then there's a little, I don't know if you saw any of that, but we'll show it again. There's a little notch right here that fits into the slot that's in there. Just kind of collapse it together. Do the same thing on this side here. So now you got this piece looking like this. Set that off to the side. Do the same thing on this one. So, excuse me. So again, what you want to do is you want to pull these pieces up and out. So just kind of, and sometimes they move freely, sometimes they don't. I've yet to figure out why sometimes they are easier to move and other times they're not. But I don't know. So this goes up, and then this little slot here, we'll put in this little peg right there. So just like so. Just like so. So that's together. Now with this one, what you want to do is pull this piece up like so. This piece comes down and around like so, and these will just kind of collapse in. Now there's two little tabs on each side that kind of peg into each other, so you just got to make sure you get them in at the same time. Then this piece will fold forward, and this piece will fold forward, and you can clip it together. And this is now his foot. And Yeah, there's little. Now this is probably one of my favorite things about the feet, is there's these little strips of rubber right here, 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 and here. So when he's standing, I mean, he's a very solid standing figure. All right, so you take this piece here, and it just plugs in right there, and there you have his leg. And then once I have something cool going on with this figure, we instantly go into some crap. And I'll explain that in a little bit. So set that off to the side. Do the same thing over here. Just pull this up. This comes around. These pieces collapse in together. This will come around like so. And then this piece will just collapse in like that. And there you have his legs. These will become his shoulders. We'll get to those in a little bit. For this piece, what you want to do is fold this handle in. This piece will come down. This will rotate around like so. It's just on its hinge right here, so it just rotates around. Pretty simple. So set that off to the side. It doesn't seem to really want to lock in, so it's just kind of floppy. So that's awesome. You always gotta love floppy $150 figures, right? All right, now let's so we did the sword yesterday, and the hands we can't really do anything with just yet. Set those off to the side. Now let's do the gun here. So what you want to do with this piece here is pull this section here off. So you got 3 different pieces here, and then you want to see. I believe you plug this gun in down through the bottom here. Yeah. So it's like this, and then this handle will come in and plug into the gun that you just plugged in. So now it's like that. Then you can take this gun and let's see here. That's not right. This piece will go. Oh yeah, I'm missing a piece here. That's why it's not working right. All right. Okay, so this piece will lock in to here, like so. This piece can come right in here, like so, and this piece will go somewhere. Right here. Kind of clips on there, right? Maybe I'm wrong. I think I'm steering you guys horribly wrong here. Let's take a look here. I did something wrong. I just don't know what. Really helps that it doesn't have very good instructions. Okay, so this will actually, did this wrong. So this one actually goes here. And this one goes here. It just uses this little clip right here to clip them together. And then this will go right here. Like so. And there's the big rifle. And it's kind of cool. I mean, aside from this clip right here, I don't feel like I'm going to break anything. So I guess that's a good thing, right? Alright, so it's been 10 minutes already, and we haven't even really touched the figure. So, I hate this thing. Alright, so to transform him into combiner mode, those shoulders are just... Alright, so what we want to do here is, this will come down. Let's see here. Guess this. You want to pull this piece out. Yeah, this piece will. These pieces will just come off. Alright, this will need to come down to here. So let's see here. Rotate at the waist here. So it can come down like so. And then we want to rotate the entire assembly around so that this crotch is facing forward. And then you can just give that a good push, and you got... This will now be his torso. So this piece will come up. This piece will come up like this, and then you reach in here and you just kind of push the head out. Pull this out, rotate it forward like so, and then rotate it around. And then this you can rotate around, and this folds down like so. And there you have the head. Oh, and you can just pull these little horns to the side like so. Alright, now, just trying to remember what's the best way to go about this thing. Fold in the hand. I know you gotta do that. This all claps together. Oh, it's premature there, like this. And there's a little. It should just collapse together, and then this little tab here will go into this little back slot there, hypothetically, since you have everything lined up properly, I guess. Alright, there we go. Like so. Do the same thing over here. Come on. Collapse all this together so that the vents are facing forward, and then you can just line this plug back here into that slot there. There we go. So now they're both on there, and we got this all together. And yeah, so and you want this big gap here. We'll fill that in later, but that is supposed to be there. Now, open up these leg panels, and what we do here is they will come up on these little weak hinges, fold up here, and then the feet will fold out and around, and they will be able to fold it up like so, and you should be able to get the foot, this little port here on the foot, into that little piece of the window right there, like so. Alright, and so put the foot back where it was, or the leg back where it was. This piece will collapse in, and there you have the thigh. So I'll show you on this one a little bit better, hopefully. Open this up. The foot will come down. You rotate this forward like so. This will come around, and you just finagle this little hinge. And whenever you are moving the foot, make sure you kind of put your thumb here on that ball joint, otherwise it's going to just pop right out because this ratchet's really stiff. So you just plug that together like so. This will come up like so, and then this will all connect together somehow. There's a little port in there that it all plugs in together. And there you go. So, there you have that done. And then you want to take these pieces here, and then you just plug these back into where they were. And these are on little sliders, so you can pull those out to give it a little bit more clearance. And then it all just kind of tabs in up here. There's just a few little tabs. So again, do this on this side here, and then just tab it all in like so. And there you have Menasor in, or whatever they call it. What are they calling him? CA3 Diesel and Military Multiplexer Kit. Yeah, Menasor. Okay, so now we have him in the core body mode. Running out of time on the camcorder, so let's pause this real quick and then we'll get right back into it. Okay, so now let's bring up the Stunticons. And we got all the parts here, so we're going to start building this giant robot. But real quick, what I want to show you, if you take the legs here, and again you want to find this slot right here, and it goes over this little notch right there, and then you rotate it around. So this will go in like so, rotate around, and then it's all nice and locked in. It's a pretty solid connector once you get it, but like I said, I mean, sometimes too much force is needed to get it on those things, and it's like, I don't understand what I'm doing differently on one and not the other. So if you guys, that's the main question of the day. If you guys know how to get those ports working properly, let me know. Okay, so this is one thing I wanted to show off real quick. Is here he is, and he's got legs. He doesn't need the cars on the legs. You know, people gave Unique Toys a hard time because, like, the wings and the chest and stuff like that were just essentially add-on kits. Well, two of the cars on this can be considered add-on kits because they're not necessary to make the Gestalt. Yeah, it doesn't look very good, but same with unique toys without the stomach pieces. You can still make the combiner without the stomach pieces. It just doesn't look as good. He doesn't look as good, but you can add the cars on to make it look better if you want it. See what I mean? Hopefully. Anyway, they are Scramble City. So like if I wanted to, I could put drag strip here. These are typically the arms and these are typically the legs. So yes, they do. Any one of them, it's just these three little ports right here, here, and here that just plug into these little pegs right here, here, and here. So any one of the cars can fit on there. Yeah, like I said, it's just it's like a click-on armor, essentially. And we'll get to that actual assembly later. And then these are the shoulders. And the way these work is these little ports for these guys will click around this little waist piece that's right in here. They'll click around there. And then this slides over, and these two little slots here and here will plug into and this little hole will plug into these two slots and hole here. So essentially it's like this, only this little piece here will click in there. Now, again, these are Scramble City, so to do it for this guy, what you'd want to do is slide this open, and then you can put this in there. Now this guy doesn't have a place for these little hooks to snap around that I've seen anyway, so maybe I'm missing it, maybe I'm not, but you can do full Scramble City on these guys. I'm going to put it in the standard configuration. To do that, you want to pull these little pieces out just far enough to get this thing out, and this will rotate around, and you just kind of fold it in on itself. Like so. So it's flush down here, but it's not complete transformation. And you just line up those ports and give it a good push. I just think it's really cheap. I think this is really cheap. They really could have dulled down these pieces and made it so that the car was more necessary for the transformation. And I know in the G1 cartoon, yes, a lot of times the stunt cars would just drive onto Menasor and they'd just essentially be armor. But even in the cartoon though, the shoulders were had armor. The cars has armor hanging off. They weren't really. You could tell he didn't need the car for that, but they were able to integrate the cars for the arms. Why couldn't they do that for the legs? I'm just saying, it's a little disappointing when you spend all this money on a combiner and you essentially don't need two of the cars. But hey, that's just me. So you just, again, same with this guy, you just open up those panels, fold this down. These will come back in, and you just plug this in. Now the instructions do say to keep the guns on the little backs of the trunks for these guys, and then there's a place for the other guns to slot into when these are in arm mode. Mine have never really connected very well in any of the modes for the little pistols, so I'm going to not do that. Instead, I've got it in a pile of my combiner kibble, all their little pistols, just because I don't want to lose them. Alright, so to transform him, you want to pull the legs out. And actually, you want to also split this section here. They didn't make this easy either. You gotta pull this out, slide this all the way up, then you can fold the feet out, and then you push this back, and then these things can come back. And they slip back together. Yeah, this I always thought this was the worst one. I've said that so many times. This one really is the worst. Okay, so and look, during the first couple go rounds, getting him in assault mode, this got loose, and it's just on 2 little fraction pins. So I mean, I could go in there and super glue it, but it's already all stressed out. It's breaking, and now it's just floppy. So awesome. All right, so you want to split the legs. No, yeah, split the legs. We'll reattach them in a second. These will fold down like so, like you were going into car mode or robot mode, and then they just double hinge in, and this little port right here will plug into the little plug that's down there. So you just kind of finagle that just right so it all locks in. It's good. And then this piece I just kind of try and push in there, wedge in there so that it can hold. Like I said, it's really unfortunate that it's all wobbly. This one's not yet, but I have faith that it'll get there. So this one just again down and around. And then this will come around, and then you take the hand, and this will just plug in to the wheels right there, and collapse the legs together, and there you have his arm. And then, so there, now we take one of these sections here, and what you do is this one, yeah. You just take these little, like I said, these have little ports here and on here, and they just plug into this little angled slot right here and here. So just like so. And then this will just plug in like that. And then remember, there's that little slot right there for the connector port. And you just find where the notch is, like that, and just give it a good, sometimes you need to give it a good push, sometimes you don't. So seriously, if you guys see something I'm doing wrong on this, let me know, because I cannot figure it out. Alright, now we take this guy, and he's much easier to do. You just split the legs that come down like so, rotate this around, and you want to split the feet. This will plug in down here. You might want to go, see, do we want to go this way? Yeah. Right? Yeah. And this will just, let's see here. Just kind of move these things out of the way a little bit so that you can actually have some clearance for the hand. go so that the port's facing downwards. Hopefully you're seeing all this. And just kind of plug these together like so. And then now he's got this big gap here. There is a way you can take these pieces and plug them in there, but you'll lose the gun. So either big gun or a flat arm, so whichever you would prefer. I'll go with the flat arm, I guess, but I mean it's really flat. So yeah, this one's not nearly as bad as the drag strip one, because you don't have to take everything apart to get it into this mode. So take these little hooks and feed them around, and this will plug in like so. And you just get this plugged in up here. See, that one went right in. The drag strip one gave me trouble. It really feels like there's no rhyme or reason for it, so who knows. Alright, now, then you take this piece. This will become his chest piece, and there's this little port right here, or plug right here, and a little port right in there. They'll plug into these two right here on his head, or his robot head, which, you know, makes it really interesting to try and plug that together because the head's on a looser swivel. But once you get it, it stays pretty well. So there is Menasor in combine mode. Alright, so let's talk posability. He does have quite a bit of it. Head is on a ball joint. It's a little stiff going left and right, but due to the hinge, it's easy to go up and down. So, both arms have the same posability. They're on that ratchet, up, down, in, out. There's a bicep swivel because of the waist swivel. Double bend elbows due to the way the legs are designed. Hands can move up and down. They can swivel around. Each finger is on a ball joint, and they have one hinge at the first digit here. So they are posable. And then, like, the thumb is also has a ball joint, and then a hinge there. And like most of the combiners, he's got a little port on the inside of his hand. So you just, you know, there's like this little hole right here, and you can just plug it in to his hand. And then you can fold the fingers around. We'll show that off in a second. Waist is on a nice solid ratchet, side to side movement there. Legs can go up, down, in, out. There's bicep swivel. As you start moving things start coming apart in this thigh area here, so be wary of that. Bends at the knee. There's a little bit of a move on the knee, but because of the feet, it kind of hinders it. Foot can go side to side, up, down. It's on a big ball joint, so it really can do whatever you want it to. And because of those little grippers, you really can get some pretty cool poses with this guy. And it doesn't take much because those grippers really work well. That alone is one of my favorite features of this figure. I mean, on one hand, that's kind of sad, but at the same hand, I really wish that, like, my Unique Toys Predaking had that. I wish Giant had that. There's a lot of times where my combiners are sitting on like a glass table, and because of the weight, they just start sliding, and they can't hold poses because of that. and that's unfortunate. This guy does not have that problem. Big effing sword. You can take this, put this into his hand. And he can hold on to that pretty well. Because of the way it's designed with the wheels on this arm, he cannot hold it. He cannot hold a pose with his wrist. The wheels just will not allow it. But you can, like, and it's also really loose side to side. So you just kind of, I like to put the bottom part of the handle in between his robot feet. That will help hold it kind of in place a little bit better. And then you can take the gun here. This hand's much more solid. That's why I use it for the gun. And just fold the arms around, and there you go. And now his arm's split in half, but he doesn't really need it. Alright, so I'm gonna move the camera here so we can get a good look on his face here. Yeah, he does. He looks really cool. I'm not gonna lie and say that, oh yeah, he looks like shit. He looks really cool. He has lots of problems, and you guys are kind of figuring that out. But he looks awesome. Yeah, he looks like a pretty solid combiner, aside from the really flat arm. You know, even with the cards just kind of clipped onto the knee or shins here, you know, it's like, yeah, that looks, it's tacky, but it still looks okay. But yeah, he looks really, really cool. I really, really take him. Can't. And he dropped his gun. So, for size comparison, here he is next to the Seeker mold. So the Seeker comes up to about his knees. So yeah, he's definitely a big boy. Really cool. I really dig him. I'm gonna bring out all the other combiners here in a second to show them all off together. But for right now, I'm gonna do my thoughts on this thing. For combine mode, come on, you piece of shit. For combine mode, he does. Okay, he's not holding his gun because as soon as I put the gun in his hand, his legs start falling apart. Don't ask me why his legs fall apart when I mess with his hand. Okay, so for combine mode, look-wise, and just he's really, really cool looking. I give him an 8 out of 10. As a set, as a whole, though, I give it a 4 out of 10. If you're a diehard Stunticon fan, or if you're like me and just need something to be on the shelf for that, then get this. Or if you've already invested so much into it already because you bought the first two and you're like, oh right, this is going to be awesome. You know, you already invested into it. If you're thinking about picking this up, if you're not that much of a diehard fan, don't get him. I mean, he's cool, but drag strip's fiddly as fuck. Diesel is one of the worst nightmares of a Transformer I've ever seen. I mean, these guys, their legs are destined to break because of the way the transformation works. Everything on drag strips destined to break. All in all, it's not. I don't feel satisfied in this purchase. I feel like they really let me down at the last minute. Diesel was such a letdown. And the combine mode's okay, but I'm never going to take this apart again because I don't want to break it. I don't want to lose this. If anybody comes out with a better or another version of this guy, I will probably pick it up, with the exception of TFC toys, because I'm just not a fan of those guys. And most of you guys know that by now. But if they were to downsize their figures, I would be all over their aerial bots. You know, even with all the flaws, exactly how they are, you know, everyone complains. I really like the aerial bots. I really wish I had a good one that would fit in this collection, but the aerial bots, TFC's too big for me. Anyway, you know, if you need toys were to make this guy, I think they would do such a good job, because I know a lot of people had a problem with their quality control with Dive Bomb and such, but I think that you know, they do a really good job of emulating what G1 was without just straight up copying G1. Well, I mean, basically that's what they're doing, is copying G1. But putting on a new spin on posability and all that stuff. So I think they do a really good job with their figures. And I really hope they make more combiners. I would love to see them do aerial lots, and I would love to see them do this. You know, it's just, I think Fansproject put way too much effort into the design prospect of this figure to make it look so Neo, and that alone just hinders this figure like nothing else. You know, they could have really cut back on the design aspects of this figure and made a knockout figure. It wouldn't have been that hard. They really could have done something like that, and they didn't. And it's unfortunate. Like I said, they could have done such a good job with him. And I love their Bruticus, but this thing just fell so short. The combined mode looks good, yes, but is it worth getting to that point? In my opinion. You know, all my videos are my opinion. And I cannot sit here and tell you guys you should pick this up. I know I probably said that with these two and him. But with these two, it doesn't work for me. Anyway, so let's grab some other combiners. See how he looks with some other guys. Alright, so we're going to start off with the most relevant combiner of them all, because, you know, everyone needs to have this in their collection because it's so awesome. That's sarcasm, by the way. G1 Piranacon. Piranacon? Yeah. So now you can get a kind of a good feel of how he looks against some G1 figures, combiners. Here he is next to the Fansproject Bruticus, and he's about a head taller than Bruticus, so he's good size. Here he is next to Giant. And he is just a hair taller than Giant. It really doesn't look that way because the angle on the camera. Giant looks just massive. There we go. That's a little bit. He's just a hair taller than Giant, and I'm okay with that. Here he's next to the Hasbro False Cybertron Bruticus. Let's move these guys out a little bit so I can get the Predaking in the back there. Giants trying to play games with me here. I guess that'll work-ish. No, that doesn't work at all. Come on. Stand straight. Stand straight. You know, there's always got to just be one party pooper. One guy that just likes to fuck with you. All right, moving forward. And last and certainly not least, here is Unique Toys of Pretty King. Just kind of wedge him off into the back here. All right. Who is, oh, he is well over a head taller than Menasor. So, I mean, this is a great size scale. I'm very happy with this size scale. I still love this Bruticus. I'm still waiting for the Boosticus set to come in for that Bruticus. See if maybe he gets replaced. But yeah, this guy looks good with this set. Not so much him, but you know what I mean. Now we just need some Autobot ones, please. Anybody in the same scale? So yeah, there's look at all the combiners together. Let's see. Yeah, this video is not going to be up today, so you'll be seeing this Friday. Sorry guys. I tried. I gotta go get ready for work now. But yeah, so 8 out of 10 for this figure, the set. 4 out of 10. Question of the day is, am I doing something wrong with the combiner joints, or is that everybody that just every now and then it just doesn't like to work right? After this video, we're 2 videos away from 300 videos in just a little over a year. So, yeah, that's when we're going to take a look at the Fortress Maximus back there. Just chill with Rhinox. Alright, so yeah, that's I guess all there is to say about this guy.